Hi, my name's Pete, welcome to the channel. This episode I'm in Stallingborough, or at Stallingborough anti-aircraft battery in North Lincolnshire. Quite big remains here actually, I'm quite pleased to see them. So what I'll do is I'll turn the camera around and we'll have a little explore and we'll see if we can figure out what's what. After a little bit of research on this site, it turns out that this is a former heavy anti-aircraft gun. It's in Stallingborough at Little London, North Lincolnshire. It is one of only 6 surviving 5.25-inch heavy anti-aircraft gun sites known nationally. The battery was originally built as part of the Humber Estuary's coastal defence system. In February 1916, the coastal battery was equipped with 2 6-inch breech loading Mark 7 guns. The guns were removed in 1919 and the site was abandoned in 1926. The site was upgraded and reused during World War II, which is what we're looking at during this video. In June 1940, it was equipped with 3.7-inch guns, 4 of them. And then in April 1944, construction was underway for 4 new, much larger and complex emplacements for 4 5.25-inch calibre guns. These could fire up to an altitude of 43,000 feet. The regiment that was the 91st Royal Artillery, made up of territorial volunteers, and this is including women operating these sites as well. We mustn't forget that many females were manning these types of guns during World War II. And it was the 221 heavy anti-aircraft battery that operated this gun site. At the end of the war, Stallingborough was selected for a retention battery as a headquarters. At the end of the war, Stallingborough was selected for retention as a battery headquarters. It was finally decommissioned around 1955 when the use of artillery for anti-aircraft defence was finally abandoned. When I came to the site, I hadn't done much background research on it, and I'm referring to one of the chambers of the anti-aircraft guns as an ammunition magazine. That is actually an engine room, because these guns were so big and heavy they couldn't be done manually and they required machinery to do it. So please bear that in mind. It's a remarkable site. It is in fantastic condition. So walking around where we've just been, just over there, this is all still part of the same building structure or complex. We're not certain what it was, but this building here could potentially have been command bunker or amenities with canteen, because it's a big site. It looks like these units here were potentially toilet facilities, and there is manhole covers around to support that theory. I say manhole covers, they're no longer functional, but these have got steps down in. And they are just rooms with no windows, no slits, nothing. Potential nails there. Nothing on the ceiling, all gone. Heading back over to this bunker. This is still the same one, what we think is a command bunker, centralisation of perhaps aircraft spotters. Again, I don't want to go in there because I don't know how deep that is. I'll have a look in here. It looks like I might be able to get in a fair bit of this. The floor feels quite stable. There's concrete, ventilation. You can see how the ceiling's made with reinforced concrete and breeze blocks, World War II. And the concrete is we've got into the facility so we can get a better view on what it was. Now those are the blast proof doors what we went and showed you at the beginning. Let's just come through. Again, all the ceiling's the same. I want to be careful because I don't want to go anywhere where it's going to be potentially cause harm or hazard to myself. That is the window that I looked in. There's the blast proof doors. Got a little window there. And we'll go out here. That is where we've just come out of. And we can see the size of this facility. I'm going to stand on the roof of it, which has still got really thick bitumen on to protect it from the weather, to waterproof it. You can get a bit more of an idea of the scale of this. This is where we just went in. And it goes right over to the other side of them trees there. And I think that is what the command bunker is. Communications, maybe a canteen, because we've seen 3 anti-aircraft gun emplacements, which I will show you one. They are all identical, but I will try and get you the best one. The bunker that we've just looking around is in there. As you can see, it's all terribly overgrown, bit of a forest now, or a wooded area. It would never have been like this. It would have all been cleared because the anti-aircraft guns would have needed to have seen what's going on. Now we've got one here, which is the one I'll go to and show you, and then another one here, and then our potential command bunker or facilities, amenities for the crews would have been. There is absolutely rubble everywhere. So there was probably a lot more buildings that have been destroyed or knocked down. Now this place has been deliberately planted with trees, and I know that because we've got this here, and that is what they would have put round the trees to protect them while they were growing. In fact, you can see one in here in position a bit better down there. So here's our anti-aircraft battery. These would have been massive guns, and what we'll do is, this is a loading area and this is towards a magazine for where ammunition would have been kept. I've looked at them all. We can't get inside any of them, but this is the closest one that we can get to. Now there's a little doorway there that goes to a lookout tower, and I'll show you that. That there is where ammunition would have been fed to keep the gun storage full for when they're in action. And that's what it's like inside there. And we'll go around here. We're back out of this area. It is such a shame that these are in this condition, and I'm surprised no volunteer group has come out here to try and excavate and show you what is what. Now if anybody knows what some of these things are, please write it in the comments. We've got this area here. It doesn't really go to anywhere. Again, who knows what this could have been. Could that have just been a simple bathroom? And then, so that's where our main magazine ammunition would have been stored. And then we have this facility here. That would have been some kind of lookout, monitoring to see what's going on while the crews are firing away and everybody else is in shelter. This is the doorway that I would have pointed out to you. See if I can get any footage down there. I'll have to check this out a bit later when I can see what's going on. Now, that's the lookout. This is the roof of what could have been the magazine. This here is one of the emplacements of where the anti-aircraft guns were. We'll start by walking across the top. If I get myself up here, I can stand up here where it's a bit clearer. Now these facilities are huge. That hole in the centre there is about 6 foot deep. That centre there. And I will show you the size of these pins here. The ring of where a gun would have sat. And you can see all around the edge here ammunition storage, because you've got to imagine that this is a circle. Well, it is a circle. And our gun would have been in that centre, spinning 360 degrees, which means the breech would have been changing position constantly, and they would have needed access to ammunition, and that would have been done through these. Now if you look here, that has got a hole in there that goes through the ground and back through into the magazine storage, where they would have been able to constantly keep these ammunition storages full, because your gun would have been sat like that, the breech being the bottom of the torch. So yeah, when it's turning, you can see that breech is changing position, and they would have wanted the nearest ammunition storage to reload. Now this is our way in here. Through there. Now you can see a bit of a wall there. There would have been here a building. Now we're not certain what that building was. Perhaps it would have been maps and communication building, because this would have been relying on lookouts feeding communication to people. Well, what I'll do is in my next shots I'll get down and we'll come in through that entrance there. We now got our steps here. I'll quickly go down this little bit here first to show you. This is where they would have reloaded through that hatch there, where we couldn't go in because it was full of water. And we've still got the door hinges there and a sealer there, and they'd have been manually loaded up to these units at the top there. Now I was going to show you the size of this metalwork here, which we've got a metal plate still in place, and that, I ain't got any small hands, is huge, and it would have gone on there, and this would have allowed some on bearings probably to spin. And then we'll back out and we'll go up onto the top of the parapet here. That will likely have had some kind of bridge across it at some time, rather than ending up coming here and then having to run all the way around. They would have just been able to nip across there. That is what these like, these ammunition storages here. I may be wrong as to what these are. If you do know what they are, please tell me. And if we look there, we have still got, let me get through, a hinge there. That's what that looks like. I've just brought you over to another one because there are 4 of them. They're all in about the same sort of condition really. This one's still got blast proof doors on. Full of water. There is absolutely no way I am going to go in there. And then we've got the doorway there which will go to that lookout area. We've got that doorway to the left which is a hatch which will go for the loading. And we've got a big old metal shelving unit up there. I don't know what that's for. And I'm not certain what size shells these things had. But I'm going to try and get a bit closer to look at that ceiling. I've got ventilation up there probably. These things up here could be for lifting. So this is over at another one. They are all identical. There is 4 of these as I've already mentioned. This one's pretty much on the edge of the wood, so it's a bit more in daylight so you can see what is going on. Looks like somebody's been sleeping up here. Got a ground sheet and a bit of bedding, some bottles of water. That's our gun emplacement in the centre. Now it is in a wooded area, and it would have not been in a wooded area in World War II. All that would have been open. We're in North Lincolnshire. North Lincolnshire, if you know anything about war history, or if you don't, I'll tell you anyway. Huge amount of air bases here for the RAF. I mean a phenomenal amount. Where I'm stood now at Stallingborough battery, I reckon within 10 miles you'll be talking 10 airfields. A lot of the Lancasters came from here. Dam busters came from Lincolnshire, not too far away. But this is originally what sort of views they would have had. It would have been a clear view of the skies, just like that. And now sadly they're going to ruin, and we are rapidly losing history like this. Probably because people don't think it's old enough, but there are getting very few people that remember these sort of things. And there are getting very few people who actually worked in these sort of places. And now it's left for us to guess what things were, because a lot of this thing wasn't documented. It's top secret World War. So it's possible that this was an engine room and not ammunition storage, which would mean the hatch, what we've seen at the other side, would be where the mechanical gear would go to be able to move the gun, because these guns were propelling shells that were over 5 inches. So and you can see the size of the studs, they were huge. And here we go with another lookout tower up there. All the bitumen is still on the wall here. It has come away a little bit because these would have been partially buried for blast proofing them.